Helping Hands International. H2I Touching Lives. H2I Empowering People. I remember my humble self, Chukwuka, Obeleagu, and today I will be taking you on the topic duplication and team building through leaders. Last week I did a training on my new book titled Step by Step Guide on How to Launch Your Helping Hands Business. And in the process of marketing the book, someone asked me what is duplication. Now, normally I wouldn't have chosen this topic for this week, but because of that particular question, it motivated me to do this particular training because the secret to success in network marketing, especially in our helping hands business, lies in duplication. Okay? So if you haven't gotten your own copy of this book, you can always chat me, email me, or go to the site and order your own copy. So what is duplication? The dictionary meaning or Google meaning of duplication says duplication is the action or process of duplicating something. Let me say this again. Duplication is the action or process of duplicating something. Now, in the case of network marketing, our helping hands business, it is the action of duplicating a process or strategy and at the same time duplicating of team members. Now, when I talk about team members, I talk about leaders. There is one thing I love about the helping hands marketing plan there's one thing I love about it is that when I move on to stage 2, okay, and if I only have 2 good leaders in my team, one on the other arm, one on the other arm, one on the right side, one on the left side, these leaders can build my team. Not that I'm building the team for you, but you're working with them to build the team. They are willing to learn, they are great students, and they're willing to duplicate the strategies of the team. Okay? They don't wait on you, they actually go and duplicate results. So, now I'm talking about the definition. Now you can see from this diagram here the power of duplication in network marketing. Okay? Duplication is power in network marketing. Now, let me assume that in month 1, you signed on one person. Okay? You and that one person equals to 2. That means you have 2 people in your group, in your team, you and your new sign up. Now in month 2, if you guys are dedicated to doing just one person per month, okay, your number will increase geometrically in the second month to 4. The third month to 8. Now, in 12 months, you will have a total number of 4,096 people in your team. Now, picture 4,096 people and picture the helping hands compensation plan. My brother, my sister, with this number, you should be driving your second car in Helping Hands International. Now, the truth about this is this is a perfect system. Now, life is not a perfect system. Okay? There's no way you can sign up one person and 2 of you will continue to duplicate this process. Why? Because that person has to be a leader or have the leadership characteristic in order to be able to follow you, follow your strategy, okay? And at the same time, duplicate the result. So as you're duplicating your own result, they are also duplicating your result. Now, the prospect is not, the new sign-up is not also the problem. The problem can be you. Okay? Are you the right leader? Do you have a guide for your team? Do you have a strategy you're working with for your team? Do you have a training platform for your team? How close are you working with your team members, the ones who are leaders? Or do you waste time with the chickens in your team instead of playing with the eagles in your team? Trying to get the chickens to fly rather than focusing on the eagles who are already soaring and tap into their strength and help them not to get tired or burn out. So that said, I will break down duplication into two types. Now, there is duplication of process and strategy. Okay, this is the action of duplicating your team's action plan or laid out guide or strategy. Having an action plan is very good for new members to achieve success early on in network marketing. This particular reason is why I had to create a guide, not only for just myself, for my team members. Basically, the main reason I created the guide was for my team members, because I noticed that they come in with enthusiasm, excited, but because I didn't have a guide at the beginning for them to tap into and build the inner game, their habits, their attitude, their belief in what they are doing, I didn't work on that. I wasn't able to work on that. Why? Because I didn't have a guide. I didn't have a training platform for them. I looked online, there was none in terms of training. There were a lot of YouTube channels that were showing the car awards, the interviews with the car owners in the business, but there was none on training. And this motivated me to take up the mantle of doing training, targeting my team members and putting it on a platform that I can reach other people who are having the same challenge as we are. Because for Helping Hands International to last forever, it requires its partners to be successful. That's why I'm focused, that's why I'm dedicated, that's why I believe so much in Helping Hands International that I'm willing to do this in order to make sure that fellow partners have success, because the more success we have in our location or country, the more likely our new members will have success, will find it easy in getting new people to join their team. Now the question I have is this: does your team have a laid out guide or strategy for every new member? Okay. And when I talk about strategy, now most of us get on in the business. They start with Facebook adverts, pay a lot of money for Facebook advert to get people to drop their phone numbers, contact them, and the rest of whatever strategy they are using. But the question is this: can someone who is a student, who is a youth couple, who is a housewife, somebody who has barely huge income, be able to do Facebook advert, and meanwhile they just paid $40 to join the business? Is it duplicatable? Now you may be achieving success. Are they achieving success? So whatever strategy your team members have, you created for your team, is this something that is duplicatable, that someone who doesn't have internet service, that someone who doesn't have enough money to do Facebook adverts, that somebody who doesn't have doesn't have the skill to do content marketing, blogging, and the rest of them, or can they duplicate your process and at the same time achieve the same level of success you are achieving? That's why the strategy has to be duplicatable. Now, with that said, I move to the next type of duplication. But let me use this diagram to explain what I mean by duplication of process and strategy. Now, you came into the business, you introduced Roy into the business. Your job at that time is to teach Roy what you know, the system you already use, or whatever guide you already have for your business. Now, when you teach Roy at the same time, you also teach Roy how to, when Roy now achieves success in recruiting another person, at the same time you teach Roy how to teach mass. Okay? Now at the same time, because you've passed down the knowledge of what you have, because you have a guide, this will guide mass to know how to sponsor Joyce into the business. So in a way, our business is a teaching business. Now, not everybody has the teacher's characteristic or the teacher's skill, teaching skill. But if you have a book like what I have, like the book I just wrote, step-by-step guide how to launch your helping hands business, at least part of the teaching aspect has been handled by the book. Okay? And at the same time, it's something they can have and hand it over to whoever they sign up. Now, you can hand it over, but my advice is this: if you can get your prospect, or you can make that sacrifice of $3 or 500 naira on top of your new sign up to get them to have the book. Why? Because I believe people share is what they spend money on. If you give somebody something for free, they may not value it, they may not be committed to read it properly, they may not be committed to practice what is in the book. So you find out that part of network marketing profession also involve the teaching skill. Now, I remember listening to one of my mentors, Randy Gage. He said something. He said most people in network marketing waste their time going after salesmen, going after people who are in marketing. But he spends his time going after people who are, high school coach, elementary school teachers. Why? Because these people they have the patience to learn. They have the patience to learn. They have the patience to follow and be a student, and that they have the same skills to teach. So it's very important when it comes to duplication of process, because that's what will build your team very fast. Now, talking about the next part of duplication, the next type of duplication I want to talk about is team building through leaders. Now, it's one thing for you to duplicate the process, okay, the strategy, but it's another thing for you to duplicate leaders in your business. Now, what is team building? Team building, in my own definition, is simply, my own definition relating to Helping Hands International, relating to network marketing, is simply duplication or recruiting of new members into your organization or team, who in turn duplicate the process to be their own team. Let me repeat this again. Team building is simply duplication / recruiting of new members into your organization / team, who in turn duplicate the process to build their own team. Now, when I talk about team members, there are two types of team members. I could have called them chickens and eagles, okay? But let me stick to normal grammar or English so that you understand what I mean. Now, leaders, there are types of members in your organization, okay? Whether you're new to network marketing, you need to know this. There are leaders and there are non-leaders. The leaders I call eagles, the non-leaders I call chicken. Why? Leaders are teachable, they follow laid out process, they achieve results, and they duplicate the process by teaching others. Now, mostly you don't need to babysit these guys. Why? Because with a laid down process to them, they already have the reason, they already know their why, they're already passionate about network marketing. Okay? They are thinking long term, they are taking delayed gratification. They are hungry to build a system so that they don't have to work the rest of their life to be able to have the wealth and enjoy life before they pass on. Because life is simply a journey. We have to move beyond through death. So, but being leader, finding a leader is one of the toughest job of a network marketer or of a leader in network marketing. But once you understand the process, okay, once you understand the process, it won't be a tough job to do. All you have to know is that it's a numbers game. Now, for non-leaders, these are people who try to reinvent the wheel or recreate the wheel. When I mean the wheel, they try to recreate the process. They try to find their own way to create the process. They try to do things their own way without trying to understand how this is done. You sign them up immediately, they go to Facebook, they chase away their friends by spamming their Facebook account messages, you know, doing things the wrong way and involving the emotion in the outcome, that they burn bridges, and at the same time, when they now look around them, they feel scared because they've unconsciously pursued their friends or sent their friends away from them in the you know in the excitement to build their business, but they didn't follow the right process. Now, you who introduced them is also at fault because you don't have a right strategy for your team. Now, at the same time, they're not teachable. Okay? They're not teachable. They can't follow instructions you give. Most times they are the smartest guys. Why? Because when you sign them up, they believe they know it all. I know guys that have signed up in my business who are previously marketers, but they forgot that marketing for an institution is different from network marketing, because network marketing is all about is a whole new bigger picture of marketing, because there is team building, there is recruitment, there is selling, because even if you're not selling products, you still have to sell the vision of Helping Hands International to your prospect. Okay, so most times these guys are too smart to follow laid out process, and they go about trying to reinvent the wheel, and at the same time they end up burning out and not achieving any result. And when you now call them on the phone for them to now ginger them, motivate them, inspire them to take action, they come back, do one or two things, and they are off again. I call them chickens because you can't get them to fly. You try to get them to fly, but they won't fly. Okay, you can't get the chicken to fly like an eagle. So that said about team building through leaders, I want to talk about give you some tips on leaders, so that you have your antennas up whenever you're building your business. Okay, you have your antennas up whenever you're building your business. Now, leaders are not built. I can't find someone in my team who is unwilling to go through the process to recruit people, who comes in 1 month, 2 months into the business and they want to give up. You can't make them leaders. Why? Because leaders are found. Like I said, the chicken cannot fly like an eagle unless they decide to become leaders by working on themselves to build the characters and the principles of a leader. So leaders are not built, leaders are found. They have inbuilt characteristics and principles they follow as leaders. But it doesn't mean they cannot transform into leaders, that non-leaders cannot transform into leaders. Non-leaders can transform into leaders, but there has to be a lot of personal development. That's why in chapter 4 of my book, when I wrote the 90-day plan, okay, the number one thing on your daily activity is personal development. It's either you're reading a book or watching a YouTube video or motivation or network marketing or self-development, on work on yourself. That should be the first thing you do every morning. I do that every morning. Okay, I do that exercise to make sure my mind stays sharp, to make sure that my head is filled with the right information or the right energy, so that I can go about my day and prosper and build my business. Now, leaders don't quit when things get tough. They become better and put in more action. Why am I saying this? There are people that I've recruited in the process of building my business who I assumed are leaders. But my assumption was too early. Why? Because at that time things were going fine. They had people who were coming in who believed in them because they have, a good rapport, and the integrity wise they are okay. They have good brand when it comes to people. But when they run out of their warm market, when they run out of friends to share information with, and it's time for the cold market, when things when their funnel starts getting dry, their prospecting dropped, the follow-up dropped, they didn't follow the process, and now that they're finding it hard, okay, to recruit, their fire is quickly burning out. Their fires are quickly burning out. So leaders are people, even in the face of adversity, even the challenges, despite the fact they have challenges, are willing to still push through and achieve success. Nigeria is in recession, but I believe you me that there are people who have quit their business. They make the excuses for their prospects. Why? Because they believe their prospects don't have money. They forget that they didn't call network marketing business the recession business for just as a for a joke or anything. There's a reason why it's called the recession-proof business, because during recession, that's when people need to start producing extra source of income, and that's why network marketing is in place, because that's the cheapest business anyone can start with the same promise of wealth, time freedom, financial freedom, like a normal business owner in a traditional marketing system. Okay. Now, leaders lead by example. Most times, they are the top recruiters. Now, leaders are not managers. Never enter the management trap. You've introduced 10 or 20 people into your business, you relax, you go to sleep, and you depend on them to recruit for you. They are not working for you. Hello, they are not working for you. Leaders lead by example. I can say I'm the top recruiter for my own team. Okay, month on month, I am. Okay, average wise, I am. So you have to lead by example. You can't just sit behind and tell them what to do. Have you called this person? Have you called that person? You have to lead the pack by throwing out the result. Let them know that despite the fact that there is recession, let them know that despite the fact that helping us is new in your location, okay, that is doable. It motivates them to keep pushing on. It motivates them to even come to you and ask you what you are doing. Please help me. When they say help me, I don't mean recruit people for them. No. Get them to follow the process. Okay? Get them to make the mindset shift that will help them to build their business. Okay? Now, leaders know how to duplicate process. They know how to teach others. They know how to motivate others. They know how to inspire others. And most importantly, they know how to find other leaders like them. So that's the tips I have on leaders. So, like I said, great leaders starts off as great followers. They are willing to follow set laid out process, rules, guidelines, so that they will learn, become better, and be able to replicate the process. At the same time, teach other people, and at the same time, find fellow leaders like themselves. Also, watch your action. If you call yourself a leader in your team, watch your own action. Ask yourself, are you inspiring others? Are you inspiring others to dream more? Are you inspiring others to learn more? Are you inspiring others to do more and become more? Are you a leader? If you're a leader, your actions is meant to inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more. Okay? And successful multi-level business owners develop leadership and duplicate it. So that is why it's very important that you, as a leader in your team, if you don't have a guide for your team, hurry up and order for your own copy, or get your team members to order their own copies. Why? Because when they have their own copy, they can always, they stay committed to it because they know they spent something to get it. That's one. Two, they can always go to it for refresher calls or to read again to pick up concepts, because I put in a lot of concepts, even words to use for you in my new book, so that it will help you to duplicate processes, so that you can imagine when you sign up 2 persons and you hand the book over to them, and if they are leaders, they'll have a guide from day one. Now they are independent of you, they have a guide, they call on you when they need you to add credibility to the business, to their through three-way calls, or one or two-on-one meetings, or through seminars. Okay? And at the same time, they hand over the book to the people who they recruit. Leaders attract leaders. You have to become a leader for you to attract leaders to your business. Okay? And finally, we all know, like I said, if you're a leader and you duplicate leaders, they will also duplicate other leaders. Helping Hands compensation plan is a very beautiful compensation plan. If you have 2 people, like one of us said, Chan Stambo said, if you have 2 people who want their card as bad as you are, and one is on your right hand, one is your left hand, they can work with you to build their business. And in building their business, you achieve a symbol of success that will also help them. Imagine having a brand new car for your team and using that symbol of success to go assist your team members get sign-ups. Now, I'm putting this diagram, I'm putting this particular table in front of you again, so that you are aware of what it means to add at least 1 person to your team every month. And when I talk about 1 person, that 1 person has to be a leader. Now, you may recruit more than 1 person, but definitely at least one of them will be a leader who is willing to duplicate the process. But it also depends on you to offer them the right guide, to offer them the right strategy, the right process for your team to achieve success, so that it's something they can duplicate. Remember, if only you is the one that is succeeding in your business, because your strategy is not duplicatable by your team members, because they can't afford the money to do Facebook adverts, they can afford data to run internet marketing, or maybe for social media content. Facebook is almost free now in some countries if you have the right mobile company to back you up on that. But at the same time, whatever you do, what I'm trying to say is, whatever you do that helps you succeed, make sure it's something somebody else in your team can duplicate, something that somebody who is new in your team can duplicate. So that said, make sure you get your guide. If you and your team don't have a laid out strategy or a guide to help you in your business, make sure you get this book, step-by-step guide, how to launch your Helping Hands business. For you to order, you can contact me via WhatsApp, okay, on my number there, +234 803687 3138. Or you can email me via my email, chukwuka@gmail.com, or visit the link to order your copy. Input your information there. I'll get back to you on WhatsApp, and you order your own copy. You can pay in H2I via H2I e-wallet transfer. Okay, it's $3. Even it has a discount there, because if you're paying in naira, it's 500 naira. But if you're paying through the e-wallet, you're paying at 495. Okay. So that's it. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And at the same time, I urge you to share this video and subscribe. Get your team members to subscribe to this channel. I'm telling you, if you don't have your team member on this channel from day one, believe you me, you'll be doing a lot of babysitting for them. And the moment you're tired of babysitting and you burn out, they will also drop in their business. So get the book for them, get them to subscribe to the channel, let them be a little bit independent, and also be available so that they can reach you whenever they have challenge and whenever they need you to add credibility to the business, either by 2-on-1 meetings or by 3-way calls. So thanks once again. I love you all. I wish you success in your Helping Hands business. Bye.